Thank you to Uncommon Goods and BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Welcome to Guilty Pleasures.
Yes, sir. I love this. I mean, I shouldn't say it off rip. I'm doing a spoiler, but welcome to Guilty Pleasures.
You love this movie.
I love this movie. I love how everybody like shit on it and then like just recently turned the corner. It's almost like my personal Speed Racer a little bit.
Wow,
they're
that's
just
huge.
like, this was a way better movie than you guys give it credit for. Also, Ants was better than A Bug's Life. Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry.
Wait, Ants? You mean Bee movie?
No, Ants.
Ants.
Ants. The movie Ants.
Rainie, let me bring you back in time.
Wow.
When A Bug's Life came out, there was also a movie called Ants. We had two ant animated movies come out in theaters
Oh my
within
gosh.
like
At the same time.
a month of each other. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I conflated the two. If I thought they were just one. Or maybe I didn't see it.
I mean, one's Pixar, one isn't. So
Yeah.
one is. Guys, welcome to Guilty Pleasures. We are talking about B-movie, the memed, the and every time we
classic.
say B in this episode, we're going to speed it up to double speed.
Yeah.
Every time we talk about bees in this episode,
And the anatomy of such.
it'll get louder. What else do people do? This is the most memed movie in recent YouTube
Yeah.
history. And I'm going to tell you what.
It gets more saturated every time we say B. How about we do that? The video
like
just
that.
gets more saturated, more based, more lean. I don't know.
Every time we say B movie, the camera mirrors.
Yeah.
This is the most memed movie in recent YouTube history. Garrick, this was the first time I had seen this film.
Really?
Had you?
Huh? The B movie?
Yeah.
I saw this when it came out. I saw this in theaters, baby.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it was about Seinfeld, but like during that time, I was just like, no. Whatever he comes out with is brilliant, is genius. I was a Seinfeld guy.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this huge thing about nobody ever, or him not wanting to do anything outside of Seinfeld. And so the first thing that he did after the show, Seinfeld, was this movie, I believe.
I think you're right. And what's crazy is that it was like he went away for a little while.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, man, I've done it. I've made the most acclaimed, the most popular, the most successful sitcom of all time.
Right.
Nothing I ever do can top that mountain that I've climbed.
Yeah.
The zenith.
Yeah.
Not just of my career, but of comedy.
Right.
Then he sees his friend Larry David over there making Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what? I'm going to stunt on them hosts.
Yeah. I'm going to make...
I'm going to show them what I got.
Yeah. I'm going to make a fucking movie about bees. I'm going to make a fucking... Bees? 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 Sorry.
It is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, the things that made this a cult classic. I don't know, maybe we'll unearth as the episode goes on.
Yeah.
But as a career trajectory, nothing funnier.
Yeah, it's no the actual act of him doing this is probably his best joke. like in a weird meta way, this is the best thing that the best like joke he's performed. I think that this is the funniest thing he's done, not the movie itself, but the turn itself, where he's just like, I'm gonna make the greatest sitcom of all time.
I'm gonna make the greatest sitcom of all time. 20 years after that, I'm gonna become a Zionist nut job.
Yeah.
But in between,
Yep. Ooh, baby.
oh, it's time to buzz like a bee.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking Jewish bee lawyer. I love it. It's so weird. It's such a swing. It also like watching the movie, and I'm sure we'll get to the synopsis, but watching it made me. Yeah, we may not. You might not need one. It's 4 movies in one. It's because everything was. It's
The
very
continuity is not there.
Yeah, it's very episodic. It's 3 episodes of a movie about one person.
1B.
3 episodes of a show about one bee, and segments it into 3 different parts. But anyway, yes, sorry. Watching this movie, watching it back, makes me nostalgic for the time where we took like actual swings in general. So, yeah.
Oh, this is definitely, was it Universal? Universal or DreamWorks made this? DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This was DreamWorks saying, hey, we need something big.
Yeah.
We got to make a splash. It can't all be Shrek. We got these Pixar fucks trying to show us what's what. Nah. We got Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry, I mean, I guarantee you that when they pitch this, they're like, that's our theme park.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got B-World coming.
Yeah.
Before we even talk any further, guys, where are my manners? Where are my manners? Because this is a special episode. You got Garrick and I.
Yeah.
But Rainie also watched this movie.
Yeah.
I watched it at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah, well, because I thought that's when we were recording it, so I watched it.
Traditional time to watch a B movie.
Traditional watch, yeah. And I was just like, oh, I was laughing. I was laughing out loud, but I don't know if I loved it overall.
I think like it was purposefully mid.
Yeah.
Because of also the pun of title that it is, where it's just like,
holy shit,
Yeah.
I didn't put that together. It's a B movie. Oh my God, I'm the dumbest motherfucker who's ever lived.
Yeah. Which is also just so.
Which, by the way, a better movie would have been a campy, schlocky.
Yeah.
It should have leaned into being a B movie. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better if it was like all campy and playing with different genre tropes.
Yeah.
Instead of, guys, synopsis time. Barry B. Benson is a little B, and he graduates from B Academy after a couple hours. It's time for him to decide what is the job that he's going to have in the hive for the rest of his life. Well, Barry can't be held down. He wants to be more than one thing. He decides to go out on a joyride with the pollinators, where he finds a woman.
Oh my God.
He's the horniest little bee that ever was. You may think that this movie's about a bee trying to fuck an adult woman. Sort of. Because then Barry finds out that humans are stealing honey. And he decides to do, I'm just going to say it, the Jewish thing of all time, sue humanity. He really not helping with the stereotypes. Jerry, he decides to sue all of humanity, which then leads us to our third and final movie, Ecological Devastation. There's so much to dive into, guys. Yeah. This is B movie?
Yeah. Question mark?
Okay, we should just need to talk about it out the gate.
Yeah.
It's too horny.
It's too horny.
I could not suspend disbelief for that. Like, I was like, this just doesn't make sense. Fun, like, I just couldn't do it.
Well, in this movie, this movie does a thing that Jerry Seinfeld always did, which it posits that Jerry is hot and suave.
Yeah.
In Seinfeld, the show, Jerry is always pulling.
Right.
Like
dimes.
Unbelievable punching above his weight.
Full tens.
And every episode, he has another new woman. It's just like, how is this man finding all the most beautiful women in the world in New York? And this movie is like, actually, I'm so charming.
If I were a bee.
I've got so much Riz. I'm dripping with Riz the way this honeycomb is dripping with honey.
Yeah.
That that I, as a little bee, could woo a seemingly engaged woman.
Yeah.
Ruin a man's life.
Yeah. And I guess sue all of humanity as well. I could do all of that.
Tell me about the love story. Because I fully thought for a while, like, oh, this whole movie's about...
Yeah. It was 35 minutes before it shifted, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. I could not do a whole hour of that.
Yeah.
Up until that point,
you liked it?
No, I could definitely do a whole hour of him
I
trying
feel
to
like,
fuck
because
this
what
lady.
I just was distracted by was I was like, what's the end goal? How would he kiss her? How would he do anything?
Oh, it'd be so cute.
Yeah, he kissed her on
my
her
God. And by the way, the fact
finger.
that they didn't have a kiss scene is criminal.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
adorable.
Can you imagine a little her puckering up and then a little...
Yeah, it's like...
and then... Bink, oop. By the way, not a single... in the whole movie.
Yeah.
No one ever buzzed.
No.
You notice that?
No.
Yeah.
No buzzing.
I think he felt like it was too stereotypical, so he was just like, let's take the buzzing out.
We're making art here, guys.
We're making art.
We're not fucking around.
He doesn't buzz.
Even before he meets, what's her name? I don't know.
Valerie?
Sure.
Virginia?
I'll go with
I don't
Valerie.
know.
Valerie.
Sold.
Yeah, done.
I'm buying it.
We got it.
I also watched this movie a week ago because we schedule.
Yeah.
he's horny from the first frame of the movie.
Yeah.
They're looking at other lady bees in the hive, which
so funny. That was funny.
Tell me about it.
Oh, well, he's looking at his friend is looking at the other honeybee in the hive, and he's like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And he was like, that's your cousin. They're all your cousin.
Yeah.
He was like,
good.
That was funny.
Good.
I was watching. I'm like, why'd you have to point that out?
Right.
We're already changing.
Just leave me alone.
The hive is not working the way that hives work. They have families, which is not how hives work. They have homes, which nah, dog, in a hive, you're all together. Also, in a real beehive, I know this because I did beekeeping. If there is another female born, it is because the workers think that the queen is not doing a good enough job, so they create other queens who then...
Wait, what? If another female is born?
They create other queens.
But they're born all the time, right?
No, they are not.
Are the workers not all female?
No, the workers are all male.
They're all male.
But you can't just not have females.
Or am I talking about queens? Fuck, I was so confident. Now you questioned me.
I don't know.
No, the queens are on different species. There's the queens. Basically, if they are trying to birth other queens, that then results in a coup and a revolution, and it's a fight to the death. There can only be one queen at a time.
Yeah.
But there can be other women. Because I'm pretty sure that, hang on, I actually have a fun fact about this. But I don't know if this is true.
Wait, worker bees are female.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But they do not breed.
Oh, okay. That was my confusion.
Yeah.
So the queen bee is the only female that gets to reproduce. Their worker bees are all female.
Yeah.
Right.
But so what
right,
I'm
I see.
confusing
Okay.
my memory. So when other... Yeah, honestly, cut that off. It's so confusing.
No. Don't cut it. Don't
cut
shoot
that.
No, I'm
Leave
kidding.
that in.
No. Cut it.
So yeah, when other queens are born, it results in a coup, a revolution, a fight to the death.
Yeah. Yeah, so they didn't really need to do they sometimes dug into the bee ecology of it all, and then sometimes did not.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess one of the fun facts.
Okay.
Ahead of time. Is the Bee Movie's premise all from an old Seinfeld joke?
Oh, I don't have that.
No?
I don't have that one, but maybe.
Because the whole thing, if you watch his stand-up in general, it's all these kind of punny one-liners that are a little clever, a little not.
What if a bee wanted to fuck a lady?
Yeah, kind of.
If I were a bee.
Yeah.
Is this good? Is this?
That's
is
a great Seinfeld
okay.
impression.
If I were, I want to hear yours.
I have a bad. I don't do.
If I was a bee,
yeah.
Oh, I'd sue.
They're taking all the honey, and they're taking it for themselves. I guess that's an impression. But yeah, it felt like the entire movie as a whole just felt like just one Seinfeld bit after another, to where it almost felt as if if you were to say all of this on Seinfeld the show, even at the end of it, like his little stand-up bits that he would do at the end, that totally fits.
Yeah.
About if you just hear in a Seinfeld voice, why aren't bees suing humanity?
Yeah.
That's
funny.
Totally plausible.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite thing? So I of course, as I'm watching this movie, I'm starting to do some Googling for B-movie, real B-movie, what did they get right scientifically? What did they not? And there's a Reddit thread asking the question, do bees actually marry their cousins like in B-movie? Top answer, bees don't marry.
Bees don't marry. Buddy, hey,
they're bees.
They're bees. They don't believe in.
They don't have
Catholicism.
the institution of marriage.
Yeah, they don't have the institution of marriage at all.
Yeah, they don't get engaged.
Well, that's wild.
Really made me laugh.
Bees don't marry. They're bees.
The horniness of the movie did lead to a moment that fully made me guffaw. This is not a movie. I don't think most of the jokes in this movie work. I do not have the affinity for this that you do, Garrick, and I'm thrilled that you do.
That's crazy.
Spark something uncommon this holiday season with incredible hand-picked gifts from Uncommon Goods. They make your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for original, handmade, and absolutely remarkable things for everyone on your list. These gifts spark joy, wonder, delight, and that it's exactly what I wanted feeling. Whether you're shopping for your Secret Santa, your entire family, maybe your loved one, Uncommon Goods knows exactly what they want. I just bought Maggie a gift on Uncommon Goods. I got her this little, I don't even know what you call it. It's this little butterfly stone. And you put a little mixture in there and it brings butterflies to your garden. And it is a gift I would have never thought to look for anywhere else. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/guilty. That's uncommongoods.com/guilty for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. When I was a kid, I was afraid to be myself. You're in the hierarchy of middle school and high school. You feel like you have to conform. You kind of feel like you're putting on a show or wearing a mask. October is, of course, the season for wearing masks and costumes. We love it. But some of us feel like we wear a mask and hide more often than we want to, whether it's at work, in social settings, even around our family. Therapy can help you learn to accept all parts of yourself so you can take that mask off, because masks should be for Halloween fun, not for our emotions. Therapy is something I do every week, just to get in touch with myself, say, hey, Zach, how we feeling? I don't know, Zach, let's talk about it. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Take off the mask with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/guiltypleasures today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/guiltypleasures. But there's one, he goes into a full love montage in his imagination, a dream sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's imagining him and his lady loving each other. And at one point, she runs away, happily giggling, gets into an airplane, one of those skywriters, and she starts flying, and she does a heart, she does a loop-de-loop, she finishes the loop, and then she crashes into a cliff in a fiery inferno. And it fucking killed me. Like, embarrassingly. It is the cheapest joke in the book is to just, like, unexpected death.
Yes.
I was beside myself.
Like, there were a lot of those like slapstick moments that got me with when there was the crackdown on honey as a whole.
Yeah.
And they're just like suing everybody and then or not suing everybody, but prosecuting everybody and then like making sure that they don't use honey. And there's just this one moment where an old lady is trying to put honey in her coffee. And the FBI slams her face against the table and puts a gun in her face. It's just so OD. I love it. I love it so much, man. It's such a fun, dumb movie for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we all know the most important B rule.
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's talk about this.
Of course.
We all know it. Say it with me, audience. Don't talk to humans.
Don't talk to humans. Okay, I was like, bees sting once?
This movie posits this rule, and it says it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know the most important B rule. Do we?
No.
Yeah, it seemed like that was thrown out the window
That was
almost
thrown out the
immediately.
window. Like, again, in the first 15 minutes, which is technically the darkest point of a 30-minute movie or a 30-minute episode. So if you're thinking of it as 3 episodes, then that's like the point where it's just like you talk to somebody and it's just like, wow, this is actually going to change the trajectory of all of this. And then you forget about it.
I would love the movie, though, to tell me, why is that a rule?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was like, well, they can't know that we can talk to them. Like, we can't know that we're smart there.
Let's dig in there, Rainie.
Yeah, but
Why?
then...
Why?
Yeah, it's just like there's no reason.
What would be the
What would
problem?
it be?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why? What? And then what? Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once he does start talking, then all of a sudden,
Nobody cares.
chaos comes.
Yeah,
chaos
that's fair.
reigns. I don't know.
I don't think anybody gives a shit.
I love Patrick Warburton in this movie.
Yeah.
Patrick Warburton is the MVP of any movie he's in.
Yep.
He plays, if you don't know Patrick Warburton, he is a deep voice. You know the voice.
Joe.
Joe.
Buzz Lightyear in the television show.
That's not helping
Cartoon.
people.
Yeah. Joe from Family Guy
Yes.
in the wheelchair.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just one of the goats of animation. Krunk, thank you.
Krunk from
Emperor's New Groove. He's got that voice.
Yeah.
He is so over the top.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he plays a boyfriend whose life is being ruined because his girlfriend clearly wants to fuck a bee.
Yeah.
And you're okay with that premise. You guys are on board with that.
Yes.
I'm Rainie. I wish the
Absolutely.
movie went further.
I wish it went so much further. I wish they were just like, you know what? The stinger's his dick. I wish that was the thing.
Rainie, the fact that this movie has 3 movies in one, I think was cowardice.
Yeah.
I'm worried about her ability to receive anything from him. I get that he could do it.
And by the way, I'm worried as well, and that sounds like good drama.
It sounds like fantastic drama.
I would like
They're in love,
see.
but
I wanted the third act of this movie to fully be her trying to figure out how to turn him into a human being, or her trying to grow him or something like that. Like, what if we got like a grow ray or something?
I want their
Maybe he could be a person.
anniversary where she's dressed as a flower and he opens the door and says, hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba.
Which also I resent in this movie that the pollinators have like pollen guns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, dog, bees are fucking flowers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're fucking flowers.
They're humping.
Yeah. They go in. They
Which
get
then
their,
I was like,
their
oh, that
legs all
makes
sticky.
sense that Barry's horny all the time because that's how.
Yep.
Yeah, it also could have been cool with the like athlete guys. It's like, oh, they fuck because they literally are fucking the flowers.
Yeah.
These guys fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well put.
Well, yeah. The Fly Boys.
The Fly Boys. Patrick Warburton as this man who's getting his life ruined. I just wrote some of his quotes. We have, but it's yogurt night, which is just the saddest thing to ever yell out.
Yeah.
We have him yelling when he's trying to kill Barry, and he's like, "Why are you doing this? I've got issues." He also has to yell the line, "Poo water." Just great.
Poo water.
It's just that man. He delivers every time.
Every time. It's almost like he can't. Everything is 100%. He always goes for it. He can't like do anything half measure. It's the best.
It almost feels like cheap casting.
Yeah.
But you know you're gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Just like bringing the ringer.
That's what star power is, in my opinion. You know, it's just like, all right, it's not like, oh, a lot of people are gonna come out to see this movie. It's just that if I cast this person, they are just going to knock it out of the park, and they're going to bring a performance that is insane that you have to watch it for them.
He's a stabilizing force on your roster.
Yes, absolutely.
If I were to like use a sports metaphor and then get lost in the sports metaphor, he's the point guard.
For
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
quarterback
the team's going to
easier.
have their LeBron James.
Yeah.
He's the guy that gets the assists.
Yeah.
I see.
He's the gear that keeps the wheel going.
Absolutely.
He's just like,
and
you want this thing to work?
Yeah.
You get my boy Patrick in here.
Yeah. And like the fact that he's playing a guy that's kind of just calling out the ridiculousness of the premise in the first place. Where it's just like, dog, this is a B. This is a B. You're leaving me for a B? Are you out of your mind? This is fucking crazy. Blah, blah, blah. So that's always fun. And it's always fun to have somebody that is that deep voice and that extreme, just kind of being the straight man.
Mm-hmm. And the villain, who's like, you're questioning it too.
Yeah.
And the movie's like, don't do that. Otherwise, you're going to be with him.
Right. Yeah. But then also, it's like, if you're a smart person and a good thinker, you would also side with him. You'd be like, dog, he can't be a lawyer just because he puts on a little suit.
Yeah.
No, he's not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about movie 1, Horny.
Yes.
Movie 2, The Lincoln Lawyer.
The Lincoln Lawyer. Movie 2 is The Lincoln Lawyer. Movie 2 is Barry V. Benson finding out that humanity is stealing the honey from bees and putting them in work camps and smoking them out. Without getting too dark, very crazy that a Jewish bee is just like, we got to get these people out of work camps. It's just like, what? Jesus. You also a nice little nod.
I felt that too. And I was like, Doc, Jerry, do you know how smoke works with bees? Because it is not. So again, I went beekeeping.
You're a beekeeper.
I went beekeeping once.
Yeah.
Smoke just interrupts the signal, their alarm signal.
Yeah.
So the bees work on pheromones. And so if you enter a hive, one of them releases a pheromone, that sets off a chain reaction. They all release pheromones. That pheromone tells them attack.
Yeah.
We are under attack.
Yeah.
By putting smoke out, it sedates them. It calms them down. They are not being gassed and tortured.
Yes.
In fact, they are just remaining calm. You are putting something into the hive that neutralizes the thing that makes them all panic.
And if you thought like, I
hope I'm getting this right.
I'm sure. I guess so. I think, Why would I know? I don't know anything about bees.
I don't know bees.
I don't know bees. I just know this movie. But if anybody did an iota of research into what bees are, that would have been a much better thing to jump into. Is the fact that these bees in these work camps are so high or like chill.
Yeah,
or
way more fun.
Way more fun. But it's a kid's movie. I get it. But like even still, it's like,
I'm glad you brought that up, Garrick.
Yeah. Is it a kid's
movie?
Is it a kid's movie?
Is it a kid's movie?
You're right.
Is it?
I saw kids under the Peacock logo when I watched it. And I was like, I don't know if this is a kid's movie at all.
Because we're talking about the subject matter, but let's also talk about the jokes.
Yeah, right.
Is this a kid's movie?
No, it's literally the Holocaust joke, like the kind of premise there.
You have something that kids love.
Yeah.
Bees.
Litigation.
References to Larry King.
Yes.
Kids go crazy for Larry King.
Yeah.
And you know what they love even more than that? Jokes about the musician Sting.
Yes. Yeah.
And Ray Liotta. And Goodfellas. He's not a good fella. That's a bad fella. Write that down. What's crazy too is that Ray Liotta, I'm watching the movie and I'm like, why'd they get a guy who sounds nothing like Ray Liotta to play Ray Liotta? It's Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
A star-studded cast.
Yeah.
Just insane.
Because it's Seinfeld's first thing after leaving Seinfeld. So it's just like, I'll do all of his things.
And
I
then
love his show. And it want a big B movie, and you're like, fuck. So he tricked everybody. Everybody was like, all right, what's next, Jerry? I don't know. I'll do a movie about bees, I guess. And they're like, I'll do anything that you want.
I trust you.
Hey, I trust you so much. I trust you with my life. And then he's just like, okay, what if we had the Seinfeld finale be a faux reunion of Seinfeld? Anyway, he's been off his rocker since, and it's great. I love it. I'm a fan.
This movie posits that there is doppelgangers for all of the biggest historical figures in B form. So we have B. Larry King.
Mm-hmm.
We also have B. Columbus.
Yep.
B. Gandhi.
Yep.
B. Jesus.
Yeah. But Jesus. He didn't even say be Jesus. He said, but Jesus.
You love this movie.
I love it so much because it's so, lightly bad. This is truly, truly, truly the definition of a guilty pleasure where I'm just like, oh my God, there's no way you got away with saying that.
I'm so mad I watched this without you. I am like, can we run it back? I'm sitting alone in my home where Maggie's like, hey, you want to get dinner? And I'm like, nah, dog, gotta watch B movie. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go out with my friend.
I'm just sitting there fucking dying and how stupid this is. But Jesus? Anyway.
Imagining Gandhi.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna unpack that.
Yeah. What is Gandhi hunger strike? What would that look like?
That's what I'm kind of like. What was the imperial powers that Gandhi had to was there the British? See? The more you think about it, the more it's just like, this is just the dumbest world of all time. What the fuck did
the British?
What did Columbus do?
I mean, discover America.
There's another Barry he proposes suicide.
Yeah.
Murder suicide.
Yeah.
How about a suicide pact, he says.
Yep.
Kids movie.
Yep.
Wait, I do not remember. With who?
I believe this is on our way into movie 3. He and his lady realize that they have ruined the world.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein once said, and I'm paraphrasing, as the bees go, so too does the world.
Mm.
Yeah.
The bees are responsible for our entire ecosystem. They're the linchpin. So once the bees stop pollinating, the whole world goes to shit.
By the way, this is what doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because the bees are making the honey,
Yes.
and they're pretty much dismantling these like work camps.
Yes.
And then that's where the honey was coming from. So just by like making honey illegal, it actually shouldn't impact them at all.
Well, they have such a surplus of honey now because humans are not stealing their honey that they don't have to work. Therefore, they're not pollinating. They get lazy. They lose their purpose, which also I do believe this is a parable for Jerry Seinfeld being a workaholic and not knowing how to turn that part of himself off, where he has this insatiable need to work every single day. That's all he can do. He doesn't know who he is outside of the context of creation.
Yeah.
Which is on one part kind of cool, one part super duper unhealthy.
Yeah. A better version of this movie, and this is if you like the B movie and like that parable of a workaholic working too hard and not knowing what to do when they don't have any more work. Carol and the End of the World is a cartoon or animated program on Netflix. And it is pretty much about that, where it is. I don't know if you remember. I'm blanking on her name, but I think that she's so funny. But the drug dealer from season 2 of Euphoria, and she has a very very like dry, extremely dry delivery. But she plays Carol. And the End of the World is coming. It's already been like announced. It's like in like 2 months or something like that. And so everybody's like, "Oh, great! I can just do whatever the fuck I want for 2 months because who gives a shit? We're all gonna die." And she chooses to go to work, and it's a really like beautiful like tale on like what happens when the purpose that you have is being like, I guess, downed by the rest of society.
That sounds almost as good as B movie.
Almost as good as B movie.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm realizing if I'm trying to map Seinfeld's psyche onto this movie, he made Seinfeld honey. The network profited off of it.
Yeah.
Or something, or maybe he thought that the world was taking him. He stopped making it. Once Jerry Seinfeld, stop putting comedy into the world ends.
The world ends.
Because I am
gross. I think it's more like his world ends. If we want to give him that. I'd rather give him like the side of the angle of like him putting himself on a side character rather than him being like B-Bear, the main character, where he's like, now that I don't have anything to do, I'm just gonna like sit around and maybe sting somebody,
be a little sad.
Yeah, because most syndicated show of all time, he never has to work again. He's literally a billionaire from one thing. Why would you do anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, okay, so going back to the second movie, I was really interested in how this was sort of like another just like jump, because I do feel like a flaw of this movie is it's like,
whoa.
Well, there are no flaws. There are no flaws.
Whoa. Something you didn't get.
Something I didn't understand. Is it kind of you sort of just have to be like, okay, yeah, and now they're in court. Like it skipped is like, I'm suing humanity. Skipped how he was gonna sue humanity. And all of a sudden it's like this hugely like publicized, press is everywhere. He's suing humanity. It's like, how'd you get there?
I am remembering I said earlier that they never buzz. I was wrong. It's in the beginning of the court scene. They're like, humanity's going to hear from a bee for the first time ever. Everyone, listen in. Oh, I'm just kidding.
My
fucking least favorite joke in any movie ever.
I loved it so much. I laughed so hard.
You got John Goodman as the lawyer.
the evil lawyer.
You want to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
again about someone
my
who's just
God.
always going to knock it out of the park. Just a stabilizer.
Have you ever like seen any of his interviews whenever they ask him like what's your process? How do you act? He's just like, I just go into my job. I don't know what to tell. It's my job.
He's the best.
This is what I do.
When I screened my short film at a festival, I
Fantasia.
did some interviews, and someone asked me. He actually asked me twice because he said, if you could get any actor in a movie, who would it be? And I blanked. I had no fucking idea. I had just seen, doesn't matter.
Who did you say?
I said Tilda Swinton, which is a good answer, but is because I had just seen Problemista, the Julio Torres movie, which is fucking unbelievable, and I could only think about her. But my real answer is John Goodman.
John Goodman.
John Goodman rocks.
Yeah, and he's gonna knock it out of the park. He's
gonna whatever you need him to do, he's gonna do it perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want him to be the lovable dad? He'll do that.
Yeah.
Do you want him to be the menacing, like horrifying force in Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah.
He'll do that.
Yep.
Do you want him to be the antagonistic down south lawyer? B movie? He'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, even with fucking Big Lebowski, you want him to be some like weird overzealous bowler? Yeah,
He'll do that.
He'll do it.
Do you want him grounded? Sure. Do
Yeah.
you want him larger than life?
Yeah.
Sure.
Easy.
John Goodman can do it all.
Yeah.
Garrick and I literally the other day were texting something about Speed Racer.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I just said, remember that moment in Speed Racer where it zooms into his ring and you get 10 minutes of exposition in one shot that he's an incredible wrestler, and then it zooms back out and he all of a sudden can do kung fu? It's the best moment in any movie ever. I love John Goodman.
Oh my God, he's the best.
We're getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
So, Rainie, you were talking about the court.
But what I will say, sometimes I like when plot moves so fast that it's like skipping any of the boring stuff. Like, okay, now we're at the court, and it's like, okay, that's kind of nice, actually.
You got to keep up.
Yeah, you got to keep up.
B-movie.
You got to keep up.
We're not waiting for you.
Oh my God,
Get on board or get left behind.
the plot moves as fast as a bee's wings. Woo! It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It doesn't care about you. It's literally not catering to you at all. It's like keep up.
Keep
I
up.
Don't give a shit. We're over here now. Pay attention. I love it's so God.
Garrick, what do you think about the animation? Was it good animation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a good like 3D animation for sure. Like,
I liked when they were flying over like in the beginning when they're flying. I was like, should I be a bee?
Yeah.
On my way.
Beautiful.
Oh, when they're
Stunning.
flying through Central Park?
Stunning. Also, one of my favorite cut to blacks at the end where he's seeing how wonderful actually being a bee is, and then he's like flying through the kite and he's like, wow, this is great, and goes straight through it, and it's a honeycomb, and it just cuts to black and it just goes to the end. I love an abrupt cut, and that's that one was a little better than it needed to be.
There are moments in this movie where I'm like, oh, you guys actually maybe spent a little too much on the animation. Like maybe actually you shouldn't have made this beautiful and just focus on the script.
Yeah.
Maybe it should have looked like shit instead of like bringing me through Beat City.
Yeah, no, that's
Bee City
fair.
was cool.
Bee City was amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Bee City, having like showing his buddy's job and how he has to wear a hat with a finger on it. Also, how do they know what fingers look like? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's in there. But him having to like the intricate I guess cog in the machine nature, the Rube Goldberg nature of their entire society. They didn't have to do that, but they did, and I love it.
What was it called? It was like the Degogger or something.
Yeah, wasn't it like
the Degunker?
I thought he was just. It was just like
it had a silly little word, and I Googled it to be like, is that a thing bees do? Is that based on anything? And essentially what it is like there's a little bit of honey left over, so they put a suction cup finger on one bee's head and they circle him around, and and I'm like, oh, this has got to be based on like a thing that bees do. Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
Not as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
Nope. when Challengers came out, so there's that shot at the end of Challengers where like you're in you know where I'm going? It's tennis ball POV where they're hitting it back and forth at each other. And someone had posted this movie and was like, B-Movie did it first.
B-Movie fucking did it first, you hacks. You stole it from B-Movie.
You hear that, Luca?
Yeah.
I know you listen to this show.
Yeah.
I know you listen.
Yeah, also, it's so funny to think that the beginning of I'm sorry to jump back to the beginning of B-Movie, him seeing the bees coming from outside in awe is also the beginning of Attack on Titan, which is like one of the darkest anime of all time.
You're so right.
And it's just him looking out and being like, man, I want to go outside one day. It's like, yeah, the B-Movie did it first. B-Movie
did it first.
B-Movie did it first. B-Movie is the foundation of cinema.
Can you imagine Luca Guadagnino, which I think is how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Can you imagine Luca like on the Challengers press tour being like, yes, well, I was watching B-Movie and I was very inspired by the tennis ball.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Like, I want a director who's fucking cooking.
Yeah.
Like I want Scorsese to come out and be like, yeah, I watched B-Movie and it actually gave me an idea for a way better shot.
Right. Del Toro does that a lot, where he's just like, yeah, I got this from an animated movie that I saw, or I was like with Pacific Rim. He's just like, yeah, I watched Ultraman a bunch and I wanted to do a giant robot movie. Or like, I love Gundam. I wanted to make that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, not to like get too sanctimonious about even the premise of the show, but you can find great stuff in anything. And even the worst movie ever made may have a shot in it that is stunning, right?
Yeah.
And then that can inspire some creativity down the road.
It's so weird that they don't want to give any credit to B-Movie, even though they stole
We
it.
all know.
We know.
Like, you think I'm not watching your movies and you think I don't know?
Oh, yeah.
You think...
Is this our Geostorm? Is B-Movie our Geostorm?
You think when I'm watching Spielberg and direct The Fabelmans, it's like, yeah, no, I know where you got that.
Yeah.
It's B-Movie.
It's fucking B-Movie. And you fucking know it's B-Movie.
Pretending like it's your childhood.
Little shit.
Motherfucker.
God damn.
Movie number 3, Ecological Devastation.
Yeah.
I more so, just because I'm looking at my notes, we can talk about the devastation, but I also want to talk about the solution to the devastation.
Yeah.
Which is obviously they gotta... Oh my god, I'm
Insane.
remembering
that
now.
was okay. That was like that was one of the hardest like okays or just the hardest jump in suspension of disbelief that I had to have throughout the whole thing.
The plane thing? Which part?
Oh, not the plane thing. Oh, you don't think a bee could hijack a plane? Rainie, a bee could hijack a plane.
And then all the swarm is helping the machine.
This is a post 9/11 movie. I'm talking like 2 years after 9/11.
Yeah.
Is this 2003? What year?
2007. This came out.
Okay, so we were ready to laugh.
Yeah, we were ready to laugh at it. And they also had to ignore the fact that you could get into a secure cockpit, which is very funny. They're like, those don't exist in this world. 9/11 didn't happen because a bee stopped it.
Well,
by the way, B
B9/11, but 9/11.
But 9/11. Oh no! Oh god!
You think that there's a Osama bin Laden?
Osama, yes, yeah. If there's a Bagandi, there's also a Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden.
Bin Laden. Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. We like to, every episode you got to have one little 9/11 riff.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every single time.
We'll go back, but they hijack a plane. There's a quote that they all say together. We're not made of jello. We get behind a fellow. Black and yellow.
What does that mean?
What is that?
What does that mean? Why do they hate bears so much?
Wait, what was your suspension of disbelief?
How they were gonna fix the world with this like bundle of flowers.
They go to Pasadena.
Yeah.
They fly from New York to Pasadena because of the Rose
Parade. But I was confused because why weren't there bees in Pasadena to do that? I actually understood that part that you were confused about because I was like, oh, they need the flower. Like it's a they ran out of honey.
Yeah.
Everything is gonna die. Everything was dead.
They had honey. They just weren't pollinating any flowers.
Oh,
anymore.
that's right. So they had Oh yeah, I guess it does.
But it's just like why would they want to pollinate these flowers? That's my thing. Or it's just like the suspension of disbelief you have to have wasn't that a bee wanted to fuck a lady because of course he did, but it was that just because he gave a speech, these bees all wanted to pollinate and work again. That didn't track emotionally for me. I don't think B. Benson would have done that. It's not in his character.
Yeah, and like I guess I figured that there's something about pollination that I didn't understand about like, they're gonna plant the seeds somehow by pollinating these flowers. I'm
going to assume that we just don't understand.
I think we just don't get the science of it.
Yeah, and I want to apologize because I said this was 3 movies. Surprise, motherfucker! It's also a heist movie.
Oh, nice.
We're doing Ocean's 11.
Yeah, we're doing
Oceans. They fly to Pasadena.
Yeah.
They knock out a guard.
Yeah.
They steal a float. They're doing the white Bronco chase. They're driving that motherfucker down.
There were so many guns in this movie because there were for sure armed guards outside of the flowers or outside of the floats as they were like loading it up.
Yeah.
To the airline. That's just insane. Why were you guarding flowers? Because they're the last ones, I guess.
You have a scene where they are hijacking this plane, and the plane is going to crash. They've knocked out the 2 pilots. Mm-hmm. It's Barry and Valerie.
Yeah. Vanessa,
thank you. And I wrote in my notes, when the swarm of bees came in to save the day, while Barry and Vanessa are taking turns slapping each other across the face.
Oh my God.
End of Avengers level chills.
Yes.
That is my portals opening.
Yeah, on your left.
On your left.
Yeah.
Everyone is coming to defeat Thanos. Really? They are slapping back and forth and back and forth. And they might as well say on your left.
Yeah.
You got all the bees. And I went, oh yeah.
This is it. It's a good movie.
This is
good,
it.
This is a good film.
I'm locked in.
Cinema.
That was we always talk about the image of someone watching and then leaning forward to lock in.
Yeah.
I was locked in.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I loved every bit of that scene. I loved every ounce of it. I love that the plane was landing and then it kept on mistaking it for different flowers. It was just like, which flower do I go to? It was just like, that's just a fat guy wearing a Hawaiian t-shirt. Not that flower. And then it's like, go to the giant pulsating one. And then he didn't know how to land a plane because that's how they always circle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What a perfect movie. I wrote another joke that I don't understand or remember. I thought you said Guatemalan. Why would I marry a watermelon?
It's so bad. It's so bad. That doesn't make any sense. But I love it. Why would I marry watermelon? It's an episode. It's not an episode, and I keep on thinking episode because it's 3 fucking
completely
30-minute,
different,
completely different movies or episodes in one movie. It's all non sequiturs. There's like so many non sequiturs to the point where it's plot based non sequiturs. Or it's just like that doesn't go there. That's not where this would go. Also, when you sue somebody, they owe you money. You have to pay. It's not. They don't take it. They don't take away. It's not like he didn't like make a bill so that there would be no more honey on shelves. I thought it was going to be like, you have to now pay us, the bee society, to keep on using our honey. And then that would cause them to be too rich to work and so on and so forth. But yeah, anyway, the non sequiturs of all of this is just why did you go that direction? Sure.
Garrick, I need to launch us directly into fun facts.
Yes, please.
Because this is the greatest thing I've ever read.
Yes, please.
Jerry Seinfeld says he doesn't want to make a sequel because it would take away from the uniqueness of the original.
So good. He loves it. He fucking loves this movie. He loves this movie. He thinks in this movie it fucking launched Chris Rock's voice acting career. He thinks that if this movie didn't come out, Madagascar would not have existed. I hold in my heart, I think that he thinks that. There's no way. This is what the confidence of like a normal mediocre guy is. This is what it looks like, guys. It's B movie and then saying this was the greatest film of all time.
After Seinfeld, Larry and I both had great careers.
Oh, yeah.
He made Curb. I did B movie.
Yeah, right. It's, oh my God.
It's unbelievable.
It's so funny. It's almost as if you have Belichick and Tom Brady. You have Belichick and Tom Brady. There's clearly one or the other. You can think whoever is whoever, right? Tom Brady goes and Belichick is
Tom goes to HBO,
Yeah.
wins a couple more Super Bowls.
Wins a couple more Super Bowls, right? Belichick goes to DreamWorks and he's like, I'm gonna make a B movie. This is Bill Belichick making a film. Like just full on. I could just make it. It's fine. I'm a football coach.
This is like Belichick saying, "I'm gonna coach a basketball team next."
Yeah, exactly.
And they get relegated out of the league.
Yeah, I'm such a good coach that I could go to Cleveland and coach, LeBron, and then we'll still win a championship. It's the confidence is so fucking funny.
I don't even want to read any of the other fun facts because that one's so good.
It's so good.
Let's talk about how this is a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, because we already know the score, guys.
This movie has stood the test of time. It has done what few guilty pleasures manage to do, which is surpass its status as a film. It is an idea. This movie exceeds the limits of being a movie.
Yeah.
It became culture. It became cult classic.
Yeah.
It entered the imaginations.
Yeah.
And that's more than any movie can ever dream to be.
No, truly. Any movie that becomes just a meme or just a reaction shot. There's just this one picture of Patrick Warburton's character doing like a what the fuck? Like a like type of face that I have used so often and that I feel like that should be the thumbnail for this YouTube video for the YouTube. It's just
I have it right here.
Yeah, it's and it pretty much yes, absolutely. It pretty much encompasses what this film is just that one character being like, you guys are doing this. This is what you, Seinfeld, who just came off of the most successful sitcom of all time, you're making a movie about bees suing humanity. Oh, okay, sure. And that like unabashed. You
got it.
That unabashed love for the premise that you came up with and just like fully leaning in and going for it and like going for all of the puns, going for all of like the silliness, almost in a way, in the same way that kind of BoJack Horseman does as well, where they're like kind of like playing with the fact that, yeah, I'm a horse, but also I'm depressed, but also I'm a horse. And you're a fly, but you're depressed, but you're a cat, but you're depressed. Like that level of we're going to take this as seriously as we can has been recreated time and time again to like a better result a la BoJack Horseman. But this is what did it. This is what started it, in my opinion. This is the foundation. The B movie stands the test of time because we can go back and follow the breadcrumbs back to this movie because we've created such better examples of what this could have been So backtracking to a B movie is not as jarring as you would think. It's fantastic. I love it. It's also like lightly horrible, but also fun in a I don't know, turn your brain off kind of way. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites for no reason at all.
Can I add, by the way, though?
Yeah.
This isn't a good fella. This is a bad fella. A bad fella. Because it's lightly bad, right?
Yeah.
That is fun, but also it takes really big comedy swings
Yeah.
that only work 20% of the time.
Yeah.
And that is, so every now and then you get a genuine like, wow, that
Right.
was, I am laughing beside myself. I can't believe it. This movie surprised me.
Yeah.
And then other times,
Yeah.
you are getting something that is so baffling. And honestly, 20% might be generous.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that is better than an outright bad movie.
Yeah.
I want a movie that swings for the fences.
Yeah.
And misses.
Yeah.
And now I get to watch someone just swinging into the air wildly.
Right.
I think that's part of what makes it fun.
Yeah.
As I was looking for reaction B-movie faces, of which I just texted you and Kelsey a few, there's a GIF of him inserting his stinger into a sharpener. And I don't know why this makes me uncomfortable. I don't like looking at this.
Yeah. Because it does feel like it's a part of his anatomy.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And you're just like, I don't know if
I
don't know if you'd like that, man.
I don't like this. I don't like it one bit. This is I'm going to call it a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also firm guilty pleasure. I did laugh a lot, but also didn't necessarily have fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it felt like punishment to watch it. Like it felt like, oh, are they mad at me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Also, we didn't even talk about him. Chris Rock did an amazing job.
He
I
was
thought
great.
he was very
You know?
funny.
He's so funny.
But overall, I mean, this was my introduction to Jerry Seinfeld. I was like, okay, I could see he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That is you've never watched a single episode of Seinfeld.
I maybe have, but I don't remember.
But that's
it.
so funny.
Yeah.
That and by the way, you are not alone.
Yeah.
Because there's a generation that grew up like B-movie was the movie that came out when they were kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so
And
funny.
that's who this man is.
And you know what? I
It's
want
a
you to
B-movie.
think about that famous person listening to this next time you decide to make a passion project after your big successful once in a lifetime sitcom,
Yeah.
because there's a Rainie Toll out there who's
Yeah.
going to grow up and know you as the guy from B-movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So fucking take your swings. And okay, so I feel like this movie also solidifies that Jerry Seinfeld knows exactly who he is and knows exactly what he's doing. Because if you watch Seinfeld, you're just like, okay, this guy is not a great actor. Why
No,
did he
he's
get
not.
a television show? So on and so forth. And it's like, oh, these jokes are not like groundbreaking. And then you watch it and then you're like, oh my God, I'm not drinking orange soda. I'm drinking whiskey. This is fully an acquired taste. I love this now. This is fantastic. And in the same way, you're looking at Seinfeld as this is an amazing acquired taste. I feel more important while I watch this and smarter almost.
You feel smarter watching me.
And now when you watch a B movie, you're like, oh, this is also an acquired taste. This is also like something that grows on you. And we've had, I guess it'll be 18 years now to let it grow on us. And I feel like we've all acquired the taste for it.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I don't know if the episode needs this at the very end, but I want to be very clear that Jerry Seinfeld is the weakest part of the show, Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, clear.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He
Yeah.
is, and
Yeah.
that is clear in the careers that came after.
Yeah.
But just as performers, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is
Yeah.
maybe the most talented
Yeah.
comedian to come out of just point blank, like end of sentence.
Didn't even want to do comedic roles. She started off as a dramatic actress. And then she was just like, I guess Seinfeld will be it. And then she fucking bodied it.
Yeah.
She is, a one of one. Jason Alexander is perfect. And then you realize, then you look at, even Michael Richards, I know he's
got his situation.
He's got his situation.
He's got
but
it.
that man was electric.
Yeah.
on that show also took himself very seriously.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to read about. Like you go back to old, like he was like an actor and then he would become the crazy Kramer character. And then clearly Larry David has continued to be a comedic dynamo and like he is so much of the reason that show was what it was. I don't want to take away from Jerry. He's obviously a very accomplished comedian and writer, but
he got the titular role though. So when I think of it, I'm like, oh, he
100%
because
had it on his back,
because of his career beforehand, because of his
he was
career
a
as a
successful stand-up,
Uh-huh.
and the story as it went is that he went to Larry and was like, well, "What do we do?"
Yeah,
they want to give me a show. Well, what do we do?
Wow.
Now he was a real, super. If you want to get into like Jerry lore, which no, we don't. The episode's over. But he has always been a super disciplined comedian, and to this day will write, I believe, a page of jokes every single day.
Oh my gosh.
And it's for him, it's more about the process as opposed to the result, and like you just need to keep work that muscle over and over and over again, which is why I think he sees himself in a B.
Yeah. Repetition.
I'm at Corn Day and all the things.
I'm at Kelsey Darragh and all the things. I'm at Garrick Bernard and all the things.
I'm on Instagram at It's Raining Toll and Twitter, Raining Toll.
We gotta get that all.
You gotta
things.
get one. I gotta choose.
Gotta get all those things. Oh yeah, and I might stop being Corn Diddy and all the things. We'll think
figure
about
it
it.
out.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a good time for ditties.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Till next time. Buzz, buzz, buzz.